What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? It's your boy Q Morgan in the building. This is Blowin The Budget. Here we highlight those budget-friendly cigars, as well as introduce our new smoker friends to this cigar lifestyle. If it's your first time here, make sure you hit the like button or leave a comment. Automatically enter yourself into the monthly swag bag drawing. Each month I pick out a couple of sticks, print up a couple of shirts, send those directly to your house. I was excited to bring you something from the Ventura Cigar Company. However, off the rip, it's already fucked up. So we're gonna see what this smoke like. This is the Pupil. Let's get into it. I want to welcome all my smoker friends to Blowin The Budget. Here we highlight those budget-friendly cigars, as well as those premium sticks that appears on everybody's wish list. I don't know how I feel about this on the introduction. I've got a crack on my head of my cigar, which doesn't allow me to do my favorable V-cut. So today we're going to try a straight cut and see what this do. Right off the bat, I'm not necessarily getting the best light, but got a little white pepper on the Dragonhale right off the bat. I don't know that this is a great stick. I've had this Pupil before and it was decent. So I'm trying to give it another shot, give you guys a review on it so that I can have a formidable decision on whether or not this should go in the box. At the introduction, off first light, we got a little white pepper on my retro and I'm picking up a little oak flavor. But again, I'm gonna mark down some points because this came right out of the cellophane. Now the last Archetype Pupil that I did have, I do have a master sitting in the box, getting temperature control. It's a nice bounce. It's a very good construction with the exception of that crack right there, but there is little veining. You're looking at a Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, and it is a Nicaraguan binder and filler. And of course you can see the Archetype hologram on the label. This is classified as a full body with mild flavors. We getting a lot of craziness, and we're not even into deeply the first third. So already this is definitely not a good experience. Now, with the exception of the crack on the head, this is a decent stick so far, as we just getting into the first third. Nice return on the draw. As you can see, I had to do a straight cut because the V cut would have definitely messed up the stick even further than it was when I got it out of the packaging. The first Archetype Pupil that I had the opportunity to enjoy was just as bad. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. My wrapper came loose on the first stick, but of course I smoked through it and it became a decent experience. This is still the same decent stick. However, there is that. So again, I don't know if I'll be putting the Archetype in the box, but of course, Ventura is receiving several 90+ ratings from different publications and those rating systems that matter. And they've also received a top 25 rating in 2017. So Ventura is not a brand to sleep on. However, the Archetype Pupil is a little skeptical in my opinion. This is the second stick. As I said before, I have a more mature master, which is, I guess, the stronger version of the Pupil, for getting cured in the box. And I'm hoping that this experience doesn't happen to that. Now, in their defense, I did have some wonky issues with my temperature and my humidity. So this crack on the head could be a direct result of maybe too much moisture getting into the stick and then it drying out. Like I said, I did have some issues with my box trying to maintain good humidity and good temperature. Here in Texas, it's been fluctuating. We've had some 90-degree days and then we've had some rainy days. So of course, humidity in the air directly affects what happens to your box. And I think maybe, just maybe, my box may have gotten too hot on one of those hot days and had to overcompensate, thus causing the head to explode or expand a little too much. But looking at the construction, this is a beautiful cigar. That's why I picked it in the first place. I'm not very big on Connecticut wrappers because I just think that that's too mild of a flavor profile. However, the Nicaraguan binder and filler definitely caught my attention. So looking at this wrapper, Connecticut, Ecuadorian Connecticut. I'm not sure how you guys want to say it, but it came from Ecuador. It's a Connecticut wrapper, damn it. The burn is consistent. It's even, and it is a slow boy. This thing is burning exceptionally well. I haven't had any retouch issues yet, and I haven't had any crazy burn issues yet. But again, we're just into the first third, so let's see what this is all about. This is Blowin The Budget. Now, despite that crack, that return on the draw is really, really nice. It's definitely a smooth smoke. And of course, that crack right there isn't hindering any smoke from being enjoyed from the stick. It's not necessarily at the point of unraveling. However, there is a big crack. And I'm learning that I definitely need to give some serious attention to the maintenance of my humidor. The temperature and your humidity should be monitored as much as possible if you don't want your sticks to do this. Now, of course, I'm blaming the mishap of my humidor. Again, I had some issues where it got too hot in the house. We had to turn the air conditioning on. And of course, that changes the temperature inside your humidor. Not to call it out, but this stick is a little bit dry in flavor. So you're puffing the stick and there's some dryness. It's not necessarily a wet smoke. I don't know what a wet smoke is, but when you taste something and it's kind of dry, the smoke should, I guess, create some sensation in your mouth, which causes you to salivate. This actually is pulling moisture from my mouth, causing me to need something to drink. And I'm just sipping on some ice water right now because it's really hot here in the dungeon. I can't lift up my garage door because they're doing work on the house next door and he won't shut the fuck up. So I had to close the garage door, turn on the lights, and we smoking out. Look, I am no professional by any means. However, I do enjoy the opportunity to share with my smoker friends those sticks that I enjoy, as well as those that I don't. As far as the Ventura Archetype, or the Pupil, I'm having a bad experience again. In my opinion, there are no bad cigars. It's just a bad experience. But this experience is causing me to be a little skeptical because as you turn around, look at that whole cap is just all fucked up. Now, of course, I'm gonna blame it on my box. Take the blame. But of course, the construction, if this was a poorly constructed cigar, you wouldn't have a visible return on a draw. It would be a little difficult to pull. However, with the unraveling and all of this cracking that's going on, I'm still able to get nice plumes of smoke with each puff, which definitely tells me that the cigar was constructed with limited care. And of course, my box fucked up the stick. It's dry, you got oak, and there's a sweet note that's coming in, almost like I can't really call it, it's not like a sugar sweet, it's not like I want to say it's almost, And fellas, this one is light enough to Dragonhale. What is a Dragonhale, you ask? Well, it's a retrohale on steroids. If you understand how to do a retrohale properly, then of course, certain cigars or more milder bodied cigars, you may be able to Dragonhale. And what you're doing is you're puffing the smoke or puffing the stick. And of course, instead of releasing it all out of your mouth, you can go straight through your nose with this Pupil. Here's a demonstration. Now, too much Dragonhale will give you a very strong pepper sensation. But of course, when you feel that sensation, that would be an indication that it's time to stop the Dragonhale. But with some practice, you may be able to take 5 or 6 drags and do your Dragonhale. Or you can just do a retrohale. Puff the smoke, hold it in your mouth, release some from your mouth, and then hold the last portion so that can be released through your nose. Again, with practice, you will get better. The first time you try this, you may get an overwhelming sensation should you allow too much smoke to come through your nose. And that's a retrohale. That's where you're gonna pick up the sweet note and the dryness. There is a dryness. It's gonna feel like you've taken a spoonful of cinnamon and put it in your mouth, or anything that alum may dry you out. There's a very pungent white pepper tinge that you'll get if you do too much retrohale or too much Dragonhale. But white pepper is definitely a dominant flavor into the first third. As we get into approaching the halfway, I'm picking up a little bit of earthiness. It's kind of like, I've said it before, either wet grass or waking up in the middle of the woods in the morning, that smell, if you can associate a flavor with that smell, kind of puts me in the mindset of the Divine Leaf Cigar Company. Kind of like the same flavor profiles. They on your back, boy. They on your back. But did a video for Divine Leaf, definitely check out them. This is a decent cigar. I bought a couple because I wanted to actually understand coming back to it at a later time. And this is the later time. The first stick, again, out of the store, I had some issues with cracking on that first stick. And I went through it anyway. And now again, on the second stick that I had from Archetype, I'm experiencing some weird cracking again. So I don't know if that's a trademark of this particular brand. Is it more of, I can't say poor manufacturing, because if it was manufactured poorly, you would not have that consistent burn. The ash is firm, holding firm. No drop there. But it's just the head that's giving me an issue. It's a little spongy. Not spongy in the sense of, well, here's the box. You can see that I'm able to really squeeze that label. It's not smushy, but it's rather soft. This came in a 650 Toro. Very good on your hand, feels good in the hand. Hell, it tastes good in the mouth. It's a really flavorful stick, but not flavorful in the sense of transition in the composition. It's not a transitional cigar. This is, if you taste oak, you're gonna taste oak. If you taste earth, that's what you're gonna get. This isn't one of those sticks that changes in flavor. It goes from one thing to the next thing, and that's what you're getting. So right now, we started out with oak flavor, a little bit dry. It's sweet, but it's not factory smoke, fat bottom Betty sweet, if that makes sense. This is a natural sweetness based on the cultivation and curation of the tobacco leaves. No additives, preservatives were enhanced or made to alter this to be sweet. It's a natural sweet. Now that we've gotten into half, we're coming up on earth, and of course that white pepper is there, but it's not pow white pepper. It's just evident that there is a peppery tone to the stick. Now, Archetype is inspired by the work of Dr. Carl Jung, who was a psychologist and the protege of Sigmund Freud. He derived that an archetype is a repeating character in your dreams or in myths. So that recurring dream that you have, if you're falling, that will be an archetype. That person that you see in your dreams, very often a premonition or a ghost, so to speak, would be an archetype. This is a decent stick if I can actually get a well-constructed one. I would definitely try this again. But at $15 a stick, I'm not so quick to pull the trigger if I see the archetype again. This would definitely have to be honest with you, somebody's gonna have to gift this to me for me to smoke another archetype. There are other cigars in the Archetype lineup by Ventura Cigars. A few of them have had 90 plus ratings. Of course, the Axis Mendes, I think that is, that got a top 25 rating by Cigar Aficionado back in 2017. And that was the attraction. You go to your brick and mortar and they have advertisements which let you know what the new sticks are or why this should be one to try. And they usually use that rating system that everyone deems to be important, be it Cigar Aficionado, be it Cigar Snob, be it wherever the publication is. If it has a rating, that technically gives it some validation to those that care. Well, this, I didn't care. I was actually impressed with the construction. This is a Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, which has no veining. There was no imperfections. It really looked like, in the store, it looked like a piece of paper. Just a brown paper bag, just rolled up real nice. But of course, we got this going on. But we're gonna smoke it through. We at half, y'all. And as I said before, there is no change in flavor. I'm still getting oak. There's a sweet tone. There's a earthy tone. And of course, that white pepper comes through on your retrohale. There's no need to touch up because we got a full, even burn all the way around. I'm impressed with the burn. It's slow. However, the stick is smoking rather quickly. I've only been at this, I want to say, for about 30 minutes now. To be honest with you, I'm taking my time because it's a Connecticut. But I do appreciate the Nicaraguan binder and filler. Understand, this cigar lifestyle is truly about you doing what's enjoyable to you. If you like the sweet stuff, if you like the cheap stuff, if you're smoking the strong stuff or the expensive stuff, who gives a fuck? It's your stick. Enjoy it how you want to. And of course, it's always better for me to ask for forgiveness rather than permission. That's why I smoke them naked. Take the label off. That gets away from the snobs or other people giving you shit about what you're smoking. Who cares? It's your stick. Do you? Well, y'all, we lost the ash as we get into half, and as a result of that halfway, now we're getting even more unraveling on the stick, which is making this a less than enjoyable experience for me. So I'm gonna say, fuck it. We're gonna take the wrapper off. We ain't gonna deal with it. Have you ever had just filler and binder? This is one way for you to understand what you're smoking. Now, to keep it 100 with you, now that I've taken that fucked up wrapper off, the cigar has actually gotten better. At least the experience. Still a decent return on the draw. We're still getting a nice pull. Nice plumes of smoke on each puff. And of course, that even burn. We're still burning even, y'all. So decent this stick is. Will it go in a box for me? I don't think so. And that's just my personal opinion. If you have a different opinion on Ventura Cigar Company or the Archetype brand itself, definitely leave some comments below. We want to talk some shit about this one because I got a certain feeling. I'm kind of on the fence. This is a good enough smoke to try again. However, at $15, I shouldn't have to remove the wrapper to enjoy the stick. I say it all the time. Price is not a direct indicator of quality. You have some $10 sticks that are great, should go in a box. But then, of course, there are some $10 sticks that should definitely go in the trash. This $15 stick, I'm not sure that it should go in the box or the trash. It's just a decent stick. Nothing spectacular. It's not a bad smoke. It's not an unbearable smoke. The experience that I'm having is just fucked up. To all my advanced smoker friends, I'm getting a little discouraged in trying to find my everyday stick. I'm testing out all of these different cigars. There are some that I like, there are others that I don't. However, I haven't really come up with that one everyday stick. To my advanced smoker friends, give me some advice. How did you pick the stick that is the shit for you? Leave some comments below, because I'm still trying to understand my own flavor profile. I understand that I don't like peppery. I can tolerate pepper, but those sticks that are high in pepper volume, those are the less or non-desirable sticks for me. However, I don't particularly care too much for the sweet stuff. So I'm at an impasse where I do occasionally like a fat bottom Betty. I do occasionally like a factory smoke sweet. However, those become a little monotonous because it's the same thing. How do you discover those sticks that are your staples in your box? I'm needing some direction. Again, I'm no professional by any means, but I value the information that I'm able to share with my new smoker friends, and I'm able to value that information that I received from my OGs, guys that's been doing this shit for a while. They definitely put me on to understanding or getting a better understanding of the sticks that I'm choosing or why I'm choosing that stick. I do understand the tobacco that I do like. I do like Sumatra. I am fond of Cameroon. However, I'm trying to find a combination that is enjoyable every time I light up. But of course, these reviews got me buying different sticks for y'all so that I can necessarily share what's available in the marketplace. Those new sticks. Everybody wants to smoke the new stuff. Well, you got some OGs that are just 100% I smoke what I smoke. I haven't gotten to that point yet. I smoke a lot of different things because I'm still trying to find the shit for me. I did a video on the characteristics of a good cigar. Check that one out. As far as this Archetype Pupil, it's a decent stick. I'm not gonna give it rave reviews, although it has gotten some pleasurable ratings from those publications that matter. However, in my opinion, this is just a decent stick, and I personally think those rating systems are a hype agent. I'm pretty sure you can pay for a positive rating. I try not to get too caught up in that rating system bullshit. If I like the wrapper, if I like the packaging, if I like the presentation, or I've heard something great about a particular stick, I'm gonna try it. Thus, I got a recommendation from the B&M that I should try the Archetype. And then, of course, in my efforts to understand the Ventura Cigar Company, I also bought the Master. So we'll be doing a review on the brother of the pupil or the father of the pupil. I'm not sure exactly how that is, the hierarchy goes, but You have the Pupil, and then there's the Master. These are both full-body cigars that come from the Ventura Cigar Company. This is a nice tasting cigar with a pleasant aroma. Understanding that taste and aroma can't be separated, they're subjective, but they should be any cigar aficionado's ultimate measuring gauge of quality. Does it taste good? Does it smell good? Fuck what it looked like. Picking out a good cigar is relative. You like what you like, right? Well, you have to also understand the tobaccos that make up those sticks that you like. There are only 4 types of tobacco, although there are many variants. You're either smoking a Connecticut, a Maduro, a Corojo, or a Habano. Like I said before, there are different variants of those 4 tobaccos, but Habano, Corojo, Connecticut, and Maduro are the main tobaccos that make up many of the sticks that we smoke. However, there are hybrids. There are variations to the big 4. I'm compiling my information so that I can give you a definitive video to help everyone, even myself, understand the flavors that make up those different tobaccos. Now, of course, there are several different tobaccos, but we're going to start with the big 4, understanding what those flavor profiles are, and then, of course, we can discuss the variants at a later time. That's coming in the future, so stay tuned to Blowin The Budget for more information on those leaves and tobaccos, as well as the flavor profiles that make up those tobaccos. All right, y'all, we are reaching the end of our session. It's getting a little hot to puff, and of course, I'm hoping that you've enjoyed this edition of Blowin The Budget. Whatever you're doing in the cigar lifestyle, make sure that you expand your flavor profile. Again, there are so many interesting people to meet and interesting flavors to taste. This is your boy Q Morgan in the building. Yeah, that's hot. Peace out, y'all. Have a good day.